What is an instant turn off? Went over to a Tinder date's house, things escalate yada yada. Well, we're just talking after, and she's sitting on top of me, and I could see the reflection of her phone through her glasses, and can see she's on Tinder, swiping other dudes. Now, I knew I wasn't the first, and not going to be the last, but for whatever reason, that killed the mood for me, and I just got up and left. I feel like that's awkward, no matter how explicitly the situation is a hookup, but I'm also the type to be bothered when someone seems to just browse their phone during a conversation. Caught a girl swiping on Tinder while I was driving us to a party. We had already been on 4 dates at this point and all seemed to be going well. Back to swiping. Had a guy do this on a Tinder date before anything had happened. I was considering it until then, but that totally killed it. Just wait until you're not still next to me anymore. Bad hygiene. Please be sure to brush your teeth and take regular showers, as well as wearing deodorant. Because even though I've scooped massive heaps of animal poo in my years living on a farm, the most disgusting thing that's ever happened to me was when a guy with visible yellow plaque on his teeth kissed me. You know it's more a question of genetics than hygiene, don't you? I mean, if it was really like dirt on his teeth, okay, it was about the hygiene. But if he just had yellow teeth, it's because of his genetics. No, it was a visible thick layer of plaque. He didn't even deny it, and had no problem with not brushing his teeth for long periods of time. You might mean tartar rather than plaque. Also, he wouldn't have gotten close to my face with tartar and plaque. I wold gagged after that kiss. Being mean to animals. I had a female friend who once tried to feed a stray cat some chili paste. I don't look at her the same anymore. I knew I was going to marry my husband when he pulled over with his flashers on and took off his nice jacket to wrap around a mangy, freezing puppy he spotted on the side of the highway. She sadly didn't make it parvo on top of the mange and parasites was too much, but the fact that we were heading to a dinner date and his brain said nope, the puppy needs me, told me what kind of man he is. Wait until the deathbed confession that the dying puppy was a plant. I was with him, haha. I saw the pup with my own eyes. No, he mean that he planted the puppy there beforehand, so he could rescue it, so he would look good in front of you. When she wanted me to pretend I was her ex, I knew I was only a rebound fling and this wasn't going to be a lasting relationship. I was also vaguely aware that I looked a lot like her ex, but figured she just had a type. Nope, she literally wanted me to wear one of his old band hoodies, go by his name, and try to act like him while we hooked up. It was too weird for me. It sounds like you dodged a bullet there. More like a artillery shell than a bullet tbh. Nope, this seems more along the lines of a guided missile. Ahem, dear grid coordinates. Terran voice, nuclear launch DETECTE-. When someone interrupts you, talks over you, especially when you're telling them something you're excited about. A friend of mine said actually, never mind while I was explaining a game to him. Stung a bit. Yikes. Had a similar situation where a friend and I were browsing games at GameStop. I point one out, stating how it was really fun, to which he blatantly replies I don't care in the middle of my sentence. I quickly get over it, though not 10 seconds later he's doing the exact same thing with his favorite game. On the other hand, some people just go on for several minutes and the only way to get a word in is by interrupting. Lack of passion. Knew a hot girl who could not dish up a single thing she was passionate about. No hobbies and nothing, like just one series she was just mildly interested in. When asked what she enjoyed, it was, well, I like watching TV and stuff. Another woman I dated was a evolutionary biologist. The way she passionately told how she would do some biology field work with students, talking about catching frogs and bugs, and prodding and studying a rotting fox carcass has to be the weirdest way I've been turned on in my life. Chewing with their mouth opening and smacking their lips. I used to eat with my mouth open and I apologize. There was a kid in my HS grade that would come over at a lunch table with his bought burger from the cafeteria. He would eat it with his mouth open all the time. I'd tell him to not do that in front of me, but he thought he was cool by being rude. People like this should be shot in the back of their heads twice. This is my worst fear. My friends know to be silent eaters around me now. Being late for a scheduled date hangout. I understand if you're stuck in traffic and respect if you let me know in advance that you're going to be late and have a good reason for it. But other than that, if you leave me in the dark or don't have a good reason for being late, it just shows that you can't communicate well or commit to plans. I totally see where you're coming from, and I agree it's annoying, but I don't think it's a turnoff. I guess if it happens repeatedly then it could be the off button on my remote. Downward position in a light switch. Just flick it a couple times for responsiveness. If it's anything like my wife, that's going to turn it on. I also choose this guy's wife. Holding the power button on my PC for over 5 seconds. Isn't it opposite in Australia vs now, like no meme? Yeah, has to be cause the polls are reversed. The more you know. People clearly exhibiting the Dunning-Kruger effect. But what if you're exhibiting the Dunning-Kruger effect in terms of diagnosing others as suffering from the Dunning-Kruger effect? This makes me lose sleep at night tbh. Sometimes I'm afraid I might be exhibiting the Dunning-Kruger effect. It scares me. What if I've been so much better than everyone that I've played dumb for the last 20 years and have subsequently become worse than everyone? This girl I was with wanted to pretend like she was 13 when we were on the bedroom, and mind you I'm 24. This was especially odd given she would be 13 in only a month. Not gonna lie, they had us in the first half. Yes, officer, this comment right here. I thought it was bad at first, then it got worse. People who can't let go of an argument and try to win it, no matter the cost. Nothing wrecks my mood worse than an argument that can last for a whole night, and at some point it is also painfully obvious that no matter who wins, everybody loses. I want people to win arguments, but only because they are right, not because they need to be right. When my then fiancé cheated on me, broke up with me, and was mean about it, yeah, that was an instant attraction killer. I would hope it would be an attraction killer tbh. From others I've talked to, you'd be surprised at how many people return to exes after being treated this way. I don't want to know how many. When a man, acting like he's crossing his arms, is really tucking his palms under his arms, that is the most insecure winny ridiculous looking habit I've ever witnessed. I'm not talking it's cold, it's just a go-to habit. Yetch. I'm on a wheelchair racing team. We're all pretty big. None of us do that. Having the attitude that they need to be earned. As long as they realize they have to earn you as well, because you're both valuable people who should take the time to vet people and make sure they're worthy of your trust and affection before you give it. I don't have a problem if they are worth earning, but they probably aren't. Hey, I'm not like the other guys. I'm a nice guy. Haha, you are so right. You're so down to earth. Ha 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 ha, please fuck ma ha 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 ha. Thanks. This comment made me chuckle when the most I can expect reading on here is a mild snort. I'm not like other nice guys. When she starts talking about other men. I dated a girl who all she talked about was her male friends. Huge red flag. I feel like straight women do this sometimes to get a rise out of the guy. See if they are jealous. Source used to do this when I was a teenager. Have grown up. When I lay down a boundary and it's blatantly ignored or contested. When I make a statement about how I want to be treated and someone starts trying to work their way around it or blows it off, it's game over for me. If I can't get basic respect from someone I can't turn it on for them either. If she claps when the plane lands, I'm not seeing her again. I'm the exact opposite. Plane clappers literally turn me on. If they can get half the plane to contribute, blam. I'm on a plane right now, and am planning on clapping when we touch down. Being glued to your phone not helping carry a conversation, or completely disregarding the person you're with, and talking about yourself. People love talking about themselves. You are the expert on you. So to make an easy connection, ask the person you're with about them. I may get attacked after this, but this is how I feel it's a turn off. When girls have dogs, they are always covered in dog hair, and if you smell like a dog it's a turn off to me. Also, it's annoying if you have to bring your dog everywhere you go. Being conservative. Cannot stand those people. I think political know-it-alls are the real issue. I'm fine if you are firm in your beliefs, but if you can't ever admit you're wrong and respond to disagreements with vitriol, you are a bad person. I dated a white girl who was rude to wait staff and tossed around the N-word ending with the rather than the aggressive hard R. Two worst turnoffs put together in one person. We had exactly 1-2 date. People that smoke. I could look at someone and find them very attractive, but the second they whip out a cigarette, it offs me. Except this one girl who started smoking, and it made her sexier for some reason. When you are showing her your Lego Bionicle collection, and she takes her clothes off. I dunno, a woman who got turned on by my Lego sets would make me pretty happy. When someone you're dating, or even out with in general, is rude to customer service employees, i.e. McDonald's employees, it's so unnecessary, and it doesn't make you any better than them. Shoehorning politics into regular conversations. If I met you a couple minutes ago and already know your opinion on Trump, chances are I'm going to get really annoyed knowing you. Religion. I get that for some people it might be a requirement, but for me, it's a nope. Thou shalt keep thy religion to thyself, George Carlin. Being unable to hold one's liquor, which really just mean not knowing one's limits, drunken sloppiness, even if it's not extreme, is infinitely unattractive. People who talk about themselves too much. Also people who don't talk enough at all. Keep the conversation going, but it doesn't have to only be about you. The power button. Also people that get way too close to you in conversations. For me it just instantly makes me want to stop talking to you. Being emotionally sensitive. If you can't take a mean joke and throw one back at me, then we won't get along, and it's for the best that we don't interact. Bad hygiene. If you don't care enough to clean under your fingernails, I don't expect you to put much effort into a relationship.